Let me tell you a story, but fair warning, this one might keep you up tonight. It's about a girl named Emma, 16, quiet, responsible, and stuck home alone while her parents went to a party across town. Sounds pretty normal, right? Well, this night, it's anything but normal. Emma didn't want to be alone in the house. She hated the creaks and groans of its old wooden frame, especially at night. But with her math exam coming up, she had no excuse to go to the party. So there she was, sitting at the kitchen table, trying to study. At first, it was just the usual sounds, wind rattling the windows, the faint hum of the fridge. But then she heard something else, a creak. Not just any creak, though. This one came from upstairs. It wasn't the kind of sound you could brush off as the house settling. It was too deliberate, like someone was up there moving slowly. Emma froze, pen in hand, listening. Nothing. She told herself it was nothing. She tried to get back to her homework, but then thud, louder this time, right above her. Now I know what you're thinking. Why didn't she just leave the house? But Emma wasn't the type to panic. She grabbed her flashlight and decided to check it out. Maybe it was a window left open or something harmless. She crept up the stairs, heart pounding, flashlight in a death grip. When she got to the hallway, she noticed her parents' bedroom door was slightly open. It wasn't supposed to be. "Hello?" she called. Her voice barely carried, like the house was swallowing it whole. No answer. She pushed the door open, sweeping the flashlight beam across the room. Everything looked normal. The bed was neatly made, the curtains were drawn, and the closet door was shut tight. She laughed nervously, feeling ridiculous. But then, just as she turned to leave, she heard it. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the closet. Now imagine being Emma. You're standing there alone with a flashlight in a silent house, and something is tapping from inside the closet. What would you do? Emma didn't run. She couldn't. Her feet felt like they were glued to the floor. Slowly, she reached out and opened the closet door. Nothing. There was nothing in there but clothes and shadows. She let out a shaky breath and stepped back. But just as she was closing the door, her flashlight caught something. A handprint. A small, dirty handprint smeared on the inside of the closet door. She didn't even think twice. She bolted downstairs, locking every door and turning on every light. She tried to convince herself she was imagining things. But that's when she noticed the basement door. It was open. Not wide open, no, just a crack. But here's the thing. The basement door was always closed. Always. Emma grabbed the biggest knife she could find in the kitchen. She didn't want to check, but something about that open door pulled at her. She needed to know. "Who's there?" she called out, trying to sound brave. No answer. She flicked on the basement light and stared down the stairs. The light didn't reach the bottom, leaving most of the basement in darkness. Knife in hand, she started down the stairs. Step by step, the wooden planks creaked beneath her feet. The basement was freezing, the air damp and heavy. She scanned the room with her flashlight. Boxes, old furniture, shadows. At first it seemed empty, but then, at the very edge of the light, she saw it. Something crouched in the corner. It wasn't human, not entirely. Its limbs were too long, its skin pale and stretched tight over its bones. Its face, well, it didn't really have a face. Just two deep black pits where eyes should have been and a mouth that stretched too wide. It was staring at her. She froze. Her brain screamed at her to move, but her body wouldn't listen. Then it moved. First, just a twitch. Then it crawled toward her, jerky and unnatural, its long nails scraping against the concrete floor. That's when Emma ran. She didn't think, didn't look back. She sprinted up the stairs, slammed the basement door shut and locked it, but the scratching started almost immediately. She called the police, barely able to get the words out. When they arrived, the door was splintered, the scratches deep and fresh. But the basement? Empty. No creature. No sign it had ever been there. Her parents came home, apologizing for leaving her alone, saying she must have imagined it. But Emma knew better. At night, as she lay in bed with every light in the house on, she heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. This time, it was coming from her closet. So, let me ask you, if you were Emma, would you open the door? Or would you lie there, hoping the tapping stops before it's too late? For more thrilling content like this, don't forget to subscribe.